bring that bunker on the right in play.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. All right, Frank, how would you break down this approach shot here at the first at Chambers Bay?
Well, Rich, it's partially blind, so you've really got to fixate on the exact point that you want to aim at. That's one of the beauties of this golf course. So maybe even just have a little look and make sure you know that line, because once that ball hits the ground, the natural contours are going to take it in a certain direction. So really fixate on that line.
Moving a little bit to the right. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Now at the second and a medium length par 4, Frank.
Yeah, a slight dogleg to the left. Rather long, skinny green here. Well bunkered all the way down the left side. Really anything down the right, and the natural contours of the land should kick that ball a little to the left. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just trying to aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll. Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Settles in over the putt. -1 in the early going. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners. More like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He has this attempt for par. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, here on the 4th tee, you get a good look, don't you, at what Chambers Bay really is all about.
It's framed beautifully, Rich, by the bunkers there, left, short, off the tee, plus the ones down the right side. You can see everything in front of you, but the hole does bend to the right. This is another one where you've got a generous fairway, but don't be fooled by that. It's fairway first.
Tough par 4 measuring 495 yards. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. I think if we stretch the tape, Rich, we might get to 29 feet.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Kind of a tricky read. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Bit unfortunate, loses a shot here with that bogey. Well, Frank, here at the 5th, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. The hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit your tee shot. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Now the approach shot here at the 5th hole at Chambers Bay, and how difficult is this?
Well, it looks straightforward, but the second shot, once again, just semi-blind. You've got to be very aware of that little central bunker that's just short of the green, because you're either going to have to go over it or around it.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's that sneaky distance.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
This to surrender, only one shot. So 2 over par for the round. Ready to tee off here at the 6th. Frank, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee here?
Well, as long as it's not in the rough, the bunkers, well, there's no trees here, really. That little green strip, that runway down there, another hole that bends to the right, but find the fairway. The fairway's wide enough. You've got a pretty good idea exactly where you want to go. And once again, this is one of the shorter par 4s. So good drive here, just a short iron in.
Wow, he moved that a long ways right in the fairway. Let's see what they do from a good lie in the fairway, 180 yards to go. No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. On the 7th tee now, it is over 500 yards from the back tee.
Yeah, this is called humpback, and you can see why there's all those mounds and undulations between you and the hole, plus all that amazing bunkering down the right side. All to be avoided, really. If you can do that, then you get a decent look at this green. But yeah, you've mentioned it, 500 plus yards. It's going to play longer than that uphill.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Now the approach shot here at the 7th, Frank, and this one is up the hill.
It is, and the green is sort of split into thirds. There's a little piece back left, there's a piece back right, and that bigger portion in the front. So once again, you've got to choose what shot am I trying to hit, and do I have the right club?
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Not his best, but not his worst. It just got away a little bit to the right.
It's no snack, though.
That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Just a couple of feet. Just misses. Didn't go in, Frank, but not a bad effort. Just a little tap in here. Too bad. 2 drop shots right there with a double bogey. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realise that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage. He's gone for a little extra.
That is a heat-seeking missile right there. Wow.
Oh, huge. Ooh. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Getting set now over the putt.
When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt.
Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
And he's putting for par now. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Really good mix of holes here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, we finished this front side with a par 3 after just having come off that long par 5.
And it's a beauty too. The tee is some 100 feet up in the air, so you get a great view of this magnificent golf course, and you realise why it's called a true links. This green here, though, it looks rather daunting, well bunkered on the right side, but you can see enough of it. And once again, links, use the bounce, and you can still kick one in there close.
Well, this is a humbling game, isn't it, Frank?
Well, shots like that, not to be proud of.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. Really. This is an awkward length. Give me a break, Rich. Your mum could make that.
Ooh, that's a disappointment, Frank. Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. He struggled on the front, but a chance to regroup here on the inward half, Frank.
Well, if you look at around the golf and you made a couple of double bogeys on the first or you made a couple of double bogeys on the end, it would still add up. Now, let's hope that the back nine is all gravy.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Misses the putt here, has to try again and add another stroke to the scorecard. Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 7th hole seems to have shaken his confidence. Now on to the 11th, and Frank, we are looking at a long par 4 in front of us.
We are indeed. It's called shadows, but there is love in the shadows. Hit it over that dune down there in the middle of the fairway. If you can get it there around the 300-plus yard mark, then the hole obviously starts to get a little easier. That second shot, you'd like to hit a little bit of a cut in here, but there's 2 levels to this green, so make sure you're on the right level where that flag is.
That's in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Oh my goodness, he just missed that. And that was almost tap-in distance. Has this to save par. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Frank, we hear the sports psychologists who often say, put the mistake behind you, live in the moment. Easier said than done.
It is. Male, female, it doesn't... It certainly affects everybody that plays this game, and somehow you've got to play, you've heard the old cliche, one shot at a time, but this is why it's so important, because if anything from the past creeps in, it really does affect on what you do after that.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great pitch shot.
On to the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay. It's a par 4, and they call this one Eagle Eye.
Yeah, dogleg to the right, beefy par 4. You hit it down to one of the widest fairways on the golf course. And then up in front, if you look at the middle of the green, you're going to see one bunker. Needless to say, that's got to be avoided.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Frank, what's the best way to get at the 13th here?
Avoid those ridges left and right, or the mounds, should I say. That bunker that's well placed in the front of the green, obviously you've got to carry that, but this one you've really got to keep it in line with the middle of the green.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
And getting ready for the putt. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey, drop shot here at the 13th. This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. Everything has gone wrong today. It just continues to be ugly. Frank, now to the 14th hole, and this is the 5th consecutive par 4 here at Chambers Bay, and by this point the players will know whether they're on their game or off their game.
At 546 yards, this hole can be shortened considerably if you choose to take a brave line down the left side. You can chew off as much as 70 or 80 yards. But once again here, because the hole bends to the left, you've really got to know which direction that wind is coming from.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. All right, Frank, what's the play into the green here?
Well, the green's got a little bit of a funnel effect. General contours slope right to left. And towards this green, there is a little bit of a ridge and some mounding, short right. But just use those in your favour. The ball's going to do what Mother Nature wants it to do. You don't have to fight it.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree. One of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15. It's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in the US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Solid play, heart of the green. Good work right there. They'll settle for par. Now to the 3-hole finishing stretch here at Chambers Bay, and we get it started with a relatively short par 4. It's a 423-yard hole, the 16th, Frank.
Bend slightly to the right. There's a huge bunker all the way down the right side that sort of starts, I don't know, maybe about 100 yards off the tee, goes all the way to the green. You go right, and then you realize why this hole is called Beach.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. Well, thank you at last. A birdie. That was a long time coming, Frank.
Yeah, finally he strung some shots together. Now, if all of a sudden he can do the same on the next hole, he might just get a run going.
Frank, you don't need just a caddy out here at Chambers Bay. Seems like you need a sports psychologist. You start thinking about the names of these holes. Beached at 16, and what's 17 called?
Derailed, and you can see why too. That green's perched up there. If you got the round going in the wrong direction, this is not a hole to start on. So if you got a run going, it's just a good tee shot that lands around the front there, and you just take a 3 here. This is not a time to be a hero.
Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps. But there's so many different levels to this green.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
So, today, a round of 76. Frank, not the best round we have seen. Bit of a struggle today.
We didn't really see a lot of great shots out there, Rich, to be honest. But I guess the most interesting thing is, can they turn it around?